Okay, what's October 5th? Wow. 10, 5, 20. All right, we're going to be talking more about triangle congruence. And we're going to cover two more postulates today. The first being angle side angle. And the second being angle angle side. All right, triangle congruence by angle side angle and angle angle side. Now, before we go any further on geometry stuff, there's a couple other things that I need to cover with you. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Okay? This Thursday, what's that going to be? The 8th. All right, Thursday. 10/8. This Thursday, you're going to have a sub. The sub will pass out the study guide. Okay? What I will do before I leave is I will do the study guide and I will post it to YouTube. And I will tell the sub that it's okay if you guys have your phones out during class as long as you're accessing the study guide on YouTube, the notes study guide on YouTube. Okay? So Thursday, that's going to be study guide, and we're going to say the notes are on YouTube. Then on Friday, the 9th, you got your quiz. You're going to have quiz. That's going to be 7. This Friday, quiz 7. You're going to take the quiz in class again. And then when you're done with your quiz, you're going to go on focus. And you're going to transfer your answers. Understand? You guys did that this Friday, right? Okay. So that's going to be quiz 7. And then we're going to transfer our answers in class. Now, Monday I won't be here either. And that's going to be the 9, that'll be the 12th, 10, 12. You will get your notes from YouTube, okay? You come into class, I'll tell the sub that you're going to be getting on your phones, you're going to access the notes on YouTube, and then at the end of the notes, I'm going to give you some practice problems out of the workbook to do. Got it? So this is going to be notes and practice from YouTube. Tuesday, that's the 13th. Same as Monday, I'm not going to be here that day either. So you're going to come into class, you're going to get on YouTube, you're going to get the notes, you're going to do the practice problems, you're going to check focus for a homework assignment. You're going to do everything that you normally do, except you're going to be doing it electronically from inside the classroom if you're here. If you haven't been quarantined by then. By then, all of you may be in quarantine. I don't know. Okay? And then next Wednesday, I'll be back. Okay? Yes? Yeah, what you're going to do if you're not going to be here on Friday, I don't know when you're going to feel most comfortable taking it, but try to take it before Monday. You know what I mean? If if you're going out of town and you're traveling, sometimes it's not realistic to take it, but you're going to be home when you get back home, you go under resources on our webpage. It'll say quiz 7, print it, sit down, take it, And then when you're done, just move your answers over electronically. Yes. There will be no Zoom. There's not going to be any Zoom. You guys that are Zooming right now, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday of next week, there will be no Zoom meetings. All of your information will be on YouTube, okay? Thursday, YouTube. Friday, if you're in class, the sub is going to pass out your quiz. You're going to take it. You're going to transfer your answers on Focus. If you're a e-learner, you're going to print the quiz off the Resources tab, and then you're going to transfer your answers like you've been doing all year. Monday and Tuesday of next week, there won't be a Zoom meeting, but there will be notes posted on YouTube. Okay, everybody's just going to get their notes and their practice problems electronically via video from YouTube. All right? You guys think you know what's going on? Because I'm sure I'll have 25 emails when I get back saying my son or daughter didn't know. They couldn't find the Zoom meeting. And you know why they couldn't find it? Because there's not going to be one
guys.
in 4 days. You guys at home understand everything I've just said?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. If you didn't,
Yep.
then just watch the video again of the notes that I post to YouTube today. Clear? In class, you guys clear? What's going on? All right, so let's talk about some triangle congruence. All right, first let's talk about an included side. An included side is the side located between two consecutive angles. In triangle ABC. AC is the included side of angles A and C. So if you've got this triangle ABC, this side AC, side AC, it forms half of angle C and it forms half of angle A, doesn't it? So side AC is the included side of angles A and C. Side CB is the included side for which two angles? C and B. And side AB is the included side for which two angles? A and B. Very good. All right, so let's write this postulate down. Real important right here. If two angles what's that? It's all right. Just wait a second, let everybody get caught up. Good? All right, if two angles and the included side of one triangle.
Teacher, this is Solomon from Slack from Steve. Make sure that you reference the email I sent you this morning with the attached letter. It's very important for our purposes today. Again, please reference the email that was sent to you this morning from the attached letter. Thank you very much.
If two angles in the included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Two angles in the included side and we call this angle side angle. And then here's what a diagram would look like. All right, here's an angle, included side, and an angle, congruent to an angle, included side, and an angle. And our congruent statement here is that triangle, I'm going to call it ACB, is congruent to triangle ACB. If A is our first vertex listed, what's our first vertex listed in the second triangle? D, good. Second vertex, E, good. And F. ACB is congruent to DEF. In order to use angle side angle, we need an angle, included side, and an angle congruent to an angle, included side, and angle. The side that's congruent has to be touching both angles. The congruent side has to be touching the two congruent angles in order to use angle side angle. Everybody all right with that? Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Congruence states if two angles and the non-included side If two angles in the non-included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles in the non-included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. If two angles in the non-included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles in the non-included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So here's triangle ABC. And next to it, we have triangle MNO. Now we're looking at two angles and a non-included side. So angle, angle, side, congruent to an angle, angle, and a side. You see now how it's not the included side? All right, when you're using angle, angle, side, it's an angle, and a non-included side. The angles are going to be consecutive. The angles are going to be next to each other. The side is not going to be touching both of the angles. It's only going to be touching one of them. All right, you see how BC differs from up here, side CA. All right, CA was an included side. It touched both of the angles. Down here, side BC doesn't touch both of the angles. It only touches one of them. So here's our congruence statement. We're going to call the triangle on the left, we're going to call it triangle BAC. It's congruent to triangle. We called it BAC, so what do we call the one on the right? MON, good. All right, and again, we had an angle, and a non-included side congruent to an angle, and a non-included side. Those are just two more geometry rules that you can use to determine whether or not two triangles are congruent, or they're two rules that you can use to solve for missing side lengths or missing angle measures in triangles that you are told are congruent. Everybody doing okay? It's good stuff, huh? Knock your socks off stuff here on Monday morning. Y'all tracking that tropical storm out there in the Gulf of Mexico? No, there's not much to track. It don't know where it's going. It was going northeast yesterday. They said it was going southwest this morning. You know what that means? It's going opposite direction it was yesterday. You know what I mean? Yeah, yesterday it was coming towards us. Today it's going away from us. But on the radar, it looks like it's coming towards us. So I don't know what's going on. I know. We may have a lot of bad weather coming. A lot of rain. What's that? One more time. I don't know. The thing's only moving like 2 miles an hour, and it's out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. So Those storms that don't move are the scariest because they sit there and sometimes they just get stronger, and then when they decide to move, they're pretty close, and they can be up in your front yard in a hurry. So let's summarize these four postulates or theorems that we've talked about. We talked about them last week. We talked about today. Let's do this one. See if you can name it. All right, here we're gonna go triangle and a triangle. Here's the diagram. We'll do this diagram, and then we'll say congruent by. I'm going to give you the picture, and then you're going to tell me what the triangles are congruent by. You've learned four things over the last 4 days or so. Side, 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 right? What else did you learn? Side, angle, side, side, angle, and angle, side, right? Okay, so if I tell you this right here, what are those two triangles congruent by? Angle, side, angle, good. All right, we got two more triangles here, and we got here. And if I do this, what are those two congruent by? Angle, side, good. Angle, side, very good. And then we got this here and here. This is a tough one. That's a tough one, isn't it? Side, 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 very good. Side, side, side congruence. And finally, those two triangles are congruent by?
Side, angle, side.
Side, angle, side, very good. Side, angle, side. All right, so those are four different ways the two triangles can be congruent to each other. They just need to meet the criteria of each of the four rules. All right, so let's try this problem right here. Let's find the value of the variable. That yields congruent triangles. Congruent triangles. And let's see, we want BCD, we want triangle BCD to be congruent to triangle WXY. And then we need to draw two triangles, BCD. We got another triangle next to it here. Two x plus 5. Find the value of the variable that yields congruent triangles. Wish they would have gave you more variables there, but they didn't. So we need the triangles to be congruent, right? And are you looking at the congruence statements, first of all? Okay. So I'm looking at angle W right here, and it has a definite degree measure, doesn't it? It's 77 degrees. W is 77 degrees. It's right here. What does W correspond to? W corresponds to B. And angle B is right here. And it's equal to 224x plus 5. So can we solve for x right there? All right, so if we go 24x plus 5 is equal to 77. All right, we can subtract 5 from each side. And our 24x equals 72. We can divide by 24. And x is equal to, I think that's 3. So when x is equal to 3, these two triangles are congruent to each other, aren't they? You see side XW. XW. What side corresponds to XW? BC right here, good. There's BC. It's right here. So if we substitute the 3 for the x, what's 2 times 3? 6 plus 5
X.
is, we get 11 for this side, don't we? And we've got 11 for this side. So they're congruent. All right. And angle C corresponds to angle X, but we don't have a measurement for that angle, do we? And we don't really have enough information to find, do we?
No.
Can you substitute? Can we say, what's 20 times 3? 60 minus 4 is 56. So if angle C is 56 degrees, isn't angle X also 56 degrees? Everybody at home see that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, I see it.
let's find angle Y.
Yeah.
Angle Y, isn't that going to be 180 minus the 56 minus the 77? So angle Y is going to be 47 degrees. Angle Y corresponds to which angle in the other triangle? D, so
D.
D, good, is 47 degrees. All right, so we pretty much solved that triangle, didn't we? Let's see, what did we say angle B was equal to? 77? 77. Now, which postulate or theorem can we use to prove this congruent, prove these two congruent? Angles, someone just said angle, side, angle. Let's get a different color here. Since we only know one side, we got to use that side, don't we? If we're going to use angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. So we need two angles. We need an angle, a side, and an angle, don't we? And we need an angle, a side, and an angle. So here's an angle, here's a side, and here's an angle. We got a 56, an 11, and a 77 congruent to a 56, 11, and a 77. So we're going to say angle, side, angle congruence. All right, very well done, people. Very well done. Okay, so I need to give you some practice problems to do, and it doesn't look like they're very good practice problems because it's all. And what's today? 10/5. What you're going to do for practice today is a writing assignment. People that are in class will do the writing assignment on a clean piece of paper and they'll put it in the basket on their way out. People at home will submit the assignment via an email. I would prefer that you create a Word document and attach it to your email and then email it to me. I don't want it chatted to me. All right, here's my email address. You guys at home, I would prefer that you created a file in Microsoft Word and you put your name on it, or you name the file your last name, comma, first name. And then you email me that file as an attachment. And what you guys are going to do is you're going to pick two congruence theorems and explain how they are used to determine triangle congruence. All right, that's your assignment for today. You're going to pick two of the congruence theorems. Here was 4 of them, right? There's your 4 congruence theorems. You're going to pick 2 of those. And in your own words, you're going to explain to me how they are used to determine triangle congruence. Okay? Now, if you're doing it in class and you're writing with a pen or a pencil, make sure your writing is neat so I can read it. If it's all crumbly jumbly and I can't read it, I can't grade it. All right? You guys that are turning it in class, name, date, period number in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to go in the basket when the bell rings. You people that are e-learning, You're going to create a file. You're going to email me that file. And it's due today. All right? It's when we end this Zoom meeting, you get started on your assignment, you email it to me. I should receive it before the end of the period today.
Can we use Google Docs and just share it to you?
Google Docs and share it to me. No, I want you to make it as a Word document. Word file.
Okay.
Email it to me. What are you going to name the file?
Congruence project?
No, you're going to name the file your last name, comma, your first name.
Okay.
All right? Name the file your last name, comma, your first name. No nicknames. All right? Your last name as it is on the school roster, comma, first name. And you're going to email it to me as an attachment. Okay? So I need you 10 people that are Zooming today, this all-time record. I need you to verbally check out and then get started on your assignment.
I'm Caitlin. I'm leaving the
Thanks.
meeting.
I'm Lucas. I'm leaving.
Thank you.
That's right.
Jason, I'm Jason. I'm leaving.
Thanks.
I'm
This is
Tony.
Ben.
I'm
I'm leaving.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Andres Morales, and I'm leaving.
Thank you.
I'm Cheyenne, and I'm leaving the meeting.
Got it.
It's Isaiah, and I'm exiting the call.
Thank you, sir. Shaylee. Who's Shaylee?